Oi gente, eu sou a Fe Cortez, defensora do Mares Limpos pela ONU Meio Ambiente Brasil, e eu vim conversar com Jack Johnson, que é embaixador da boa vontade da ONU Meio Ambiente e tem um trabalho incrível para diminuir a quantidade de plástico no oceano e no mundo. Vem ver. What it is being UN ambassador for the environment?
Yeah, it makes me very proud to be a goodwill ambassador for the environment, just because I grew up always enjoying nature so much. You know, I mean, I always was surfing, and not just in the ocean, but also hiking, spending a lot of my time outdoor. And so I fell in love with it at a very young age. So as I got older, it's just my turn. You know, it's like now when you become an adult, it's your turn to protect the things that you love. And so for me, it's all about trying to make other children fall in love with nature. It's a lot of kids are lucky to have that. You know, some kids they're lucky to be able to go in the ocean every day. Other kids they don't get to experience it. So it's my goal to get as many kids out into nature as I can. You know, through different programs, working with groups around the world as we travel. Groups that are working with children either in school gardens where kids can get outside the classroom and get their hands dirty. And they're learning even when they don't think they're learning. They're having fun, but they're falling in love with nature because people will protect the things that they love as they get older. And so I think the more we can get children to love nature, that's why I do it.
So that's the way, to make people love nature.
I think so. I think it's the best way.
And let me ask you something. Why is it plastic? And with all the environmental problems we have, why is it plastic so important to you? And how do you think people can break their plastic consumption habits? What can you say about that?
I think there's so many different issues that are really important, but the reason that we work a lot with both food production, like where your food comes from, and also with plastic initiatives, is because at our concerts it's the thing that we can see firsthand, because there's lots of plastic. When you walk out of a venue, when the whole crowd leaves and we look from the stage, if you're not working on this kind of thing, you can see a sea of plastic. Afterwards, the whole venue is full of plastic. But the more we work with the venues on trying to eliminate single-use plastic, we've had a lot of success with some of the venues. They've done completely plastic-free shows, and you know, it's a long conversation. Every venue enters at a different time, and we try to work with people where they're at. But the more we can push trying to eliminate the single-use plastic, then there's less of that ending up in our oceans. And so for me, being a surfer growing up and always seeing the amount of plastic growing on the beaches as I've gotten older, it's really important to me because I see it on the beach and then I see it at the shows, and you make that connection. We have to work on it. It's the thing that makes a lot of sense for the shows. And I think people can do the simple thing of trying to use reusable cups, you know, or reusable bottles for their own water, and then the simple thing too is just using up your own bag when you go to the stores. That's the first step, and then you can start trying to get no straws when you go to restaurants, and there's lots of different things. Carrying utensil sets, you know, with you. My wife is very good about bringing utensil sets everywhere, and so
I bring my utensil sets.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah. I do too now. She was always ahead of me, and so I had to use the spoon, and she always got the fork, and I got the spoon. Because she brought it, so she's like, look, I get the fork, you can have the knife or the spoon, and that's it. And so now I have to bring my own if I want a fork, and so I do.
Because that's the individual thing we have to do, right?
That's right, yeah.
And how do you think that we as individuals can make the companies change or reduce their plastic use?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it's too much of the responsibility is put on the individuals for littering. I think more of the responsibility needs to be put on companies that are producing these things, you know, because they're putting out to the world and they're making these products that might last for a few minutes and then it just is thrown away, and it takes thousands of years before it breaks down. But I think even just going back to what we were speaking before, every time if somebody says, do you want a fork with that? And I say, no, I have this one. It always starts a conversation, like at the restaurant I'm at, and people always, oh, that's really cool. I want to try to get one of those. Or like, it's a lot of times not doing it in a way that makes somebody feel bad about the fact they don't, but instead just saying, have you ever heard of one of these? This is a cool thing you can do. Or every time with the straws, like, you know, if you not have a straw and you have the metal straw or something, we've even had people say like, oh, I want to order some of those, you know, or like,
it happens to me a lot. Yeah.
So I think it's a lot through conversation, and the more you just kind of take the responsibility on yourself, without being judgmental about it, but just saying this is kind of a nicer way to live. It feels good. I think those conversations are what will slowly change society.
And what you do really starts the conversation, because when people come to the concerts and they see all the information and all the initiatives and everything, it's very important.
Yeah, thanks. The one fun part about the conversation is the lights we have at the show. When you look up, it's all these different colors in the lights, but they're all made from plastic from the beaches in Hawaii. When
Oh,
you see
they
them
are?
tonight. Yeah.
Oh, that's
tonight.
great. I'm
So,
gonna show them.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
It's a pleasure. Nice to meet you.